Alright, what's up everybody? Mr. Porkchop back here with another video. Continuing on with my journey through this Python Crash Course book. Today's chapter is going to be chapter 6, and it's going to be on dictionaries. I didn't really have a chance to read through it ahead of time and prep and make an outline and all that, so I think I'm just going to kind of read through it, and I'm going to just do some of the examples that it shows. I think I'm just going to go straight from the book in this video and show you exactly, whichever examples I choose to make or to show in this video, they're going to come right from the book, pretty much word for word, because like I said, I just didn't have time to prepare this video and try to, make it unique. So I have my Sublime text editor open here, and I'm just going to create a new file, and we'll save this file in my Python projects folder over here as dictionaries, I guess. I'll just do a lowercase dictionary.py, save that. All right, and the first example they give is alien, a dictionary, which is just alien underscore 0, and this alien equals similar to like a list, except like I said, it's key value pair. So you're going to have your key, and then you're going to have whatever's associated to it. So in the first case here, we're going to have a key of color, and then for this particular alien, his color is green. And then we have points, and the point value is just going to be 5. So that is a dictionary, a very simple one. The dictionary's name is alien underscore 0, and it has two different things in it, two key value pairs, one being color and green, and the other being points and 5. This book does a lot of different examples, at least in the first 5 chapters. It did a lot of different examples with aliens and talked about creating a game where you're shooting down aliens. So I'm assuming maybe later on, when it gets to the part where we're actually building, projects that we can run, and I have a feeling it might have us do a small little project where we build some type of game. Um, so we'll see. I haven't actually skipped ahead, so I'm just kind of assuming. But that is the example they give us, and then you can print out these values. So if we wanted to print one of these values that are in our dictionary, we would just use our print statement, and then you use the name of the alien, or the name of the alien, use the name of the dictionary, and then you just put in brackets whatever the key is that you want. So you can put like color, for example. Just make sure to actually use quotes there. And then if I run this, Control B, it'll print green. Now, so again, this is the key that is associated with our value, which is green. And you can see if I tell it to print color, it doesn't actually print color, it prints what's associated with color, which is green. And you can do the same thing with points. If I change this to points, it'll print 5. So that is pretty much how that kind of works. So I guess there's a little example down here I'll do real quick where it's basically showing you where this might be useful. So again, like let's say you had a game where you have aliens and you have colors associated with your aliens and you have points. So you could write something in your code that could be like new points equals your alien points. All right. So now we have that equal to that, and then we could print something out. So you could do something like that. So, as, whoops, assuming right, you have a variable here, a temporary variable called new points that just holds whatever the value is of points for that alien. And so you had a bunch of different aliens that are all dictionaries, and each one of those aliens was worth a different set of points. You could write a line something like this, um, and then you could print this out, whenever that person actually shot that alien, and you could be like, all right, you just earned 5 points or 10 points or whatever points were, whatever is held here in our value. So that's one of the examples that it gives here. And this page, it talks about adding new values. So let's see how we do that. All right, so it looks like it's just showing. It looks like we can, I'm going to get rid of this for a second. And it looks like we can basically just do our alien here. And then just like we accessed color, or we accessed green by putting color here, if we put a key that's not currently in our dictionary, so in the example that they do here, they have position, so they just do like X position, and then you can just do the equal sign and then set it equal to something. So in this case, we're going to set the X position equal to 0. And then they did one for the Y position. And again, this is kind of simulating something that you might see for a game where there's different positions on the screen, or that you're going to have these aliens at. So if you do that, and then you go ahead and print out our whole, just print out the whole dictionary, then you should now see that X position is in our dictionary and Y position is now in our dictionary. So you could do this just to add additional key value pairs to your dictionary. And of course, you could just come up here and add them directly into your dictionary too, but this is another way to do it. All right, you could also just start with an empty dictionary and then do, again, the same thing right here to add those to your dictionary. And then it looks like you can actually modify modify keys or modify values and keys inside of your dictionary. So if you wanted to modify the color, then you could just get like access to that. Actually, I'll leave that one so we can print it. But you could just go again like alien 0 and do color, and then you could set that to something else like red. And then if we run that, you'll see that our color is now associated with red instead of green like it is at the top. So it's just another way to modify basically what's in your dictionary. All right, so I'm going to kind of skip over this example. This is just a pretty long example of some if-else statements, kind of going over, what you would do if you wanted to change the different positions and stuff, but I'm not really too worried about that. You guys kind of get the gist of modifying stuff inside your dictionary at this point. So I'm going to skip over that one. All right, and it looks like you can actually delete things from your dictionaries as well. All right, yeah, so we'll just go over deleting things. So let's say that you wanted to actually delete the color out of your dictionary. You can just go del for delete, and then put in your alien and whatever it is you're trying to delete. So in this case, it would be color. And then if we go ahead and run this, you'll see that the color is no longer there. So when we print out our whole dictionary, it only shows the points and the positions, and color is gone. So that's how you can delete things right from your dictionary if you want to delete them. This is showing dictionaries of similar objects. Just looks like they have, so they're showing like favorite languages. They have an example here where they created a dictionary of favorite languages. They put a bunch of names in there as the keys, and then they put different languages for the values. And I think what they're trying to basically illustrate here is that these two things, the values, can be the same. So your key has to be unique, but the values could be the same. So like I could even put green for points and it'll let me do that. It has no problem with it. It doesn't matter. If I remove this and I build it, you'll see green, color equals green and points equals green now. It doesn't matter that two different keys point to the same exact value. The key is the only thing that needs to be unique. So if you had a bunch of people's names in there and you had like their favorite dessert and multiple people picked ice cream, it wouldn't be a big deal. I think that's all they're trying to illustrate there. I'm gonna skip over that. All right, and then it looks like there's a section here where it talks about using the get method to access values. So I'm gonna do some examples with that just to show you guys. All right, so it looks like inside of dictionaries there is a get method. So you can just do dot get and then do your little parentheses, and then inside of your get method. All right, so I'm gonna back up a little bit. It looks to me like they're showing you how to use the get method because to avoid getting an error. So I'm gonna just put this back to 5 for a second. So let's say that I have this right here, right? And I want to try to access, let's say I tried to access something that's not here. So I don't know, we'll just put height because that's not actually there. And if we run this, we're gonna get a traceback error. So right here, it's getting an error because this key is not inside our dictionary. And the way that they said to kind of get around that is by, let me go ahead and just do .get. And what you can do, let's say I did height again, but you can put a comma and you can put another default value here. And the default value could be like, this is not in our dictionary. So I just don't know if that's actually going to print. Let me print it instead. Okay. All right, there we go. So yeah, like this is a little different than theirs, but similar outcome. Basically, you can use the .get method and you can give it a default value. That way you won't get an error and you'll get this default message if you try to do something or you try to use a key value that is not actually in our dictionary. I don't think there's much more to go on that. So the next thing it's talking about here is looping through all key value pairs. So we'll try that. You'll find out pretty quick in programming that looping through lists, and in this case dictionaries, but loops in general, are going to be a pretty major thing that you're going to have to get comfortable using and understanding. So for this one here, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to use the one that we have set up. They created a whole new dictionary for this one, but I'm just going to keep the one we have. So for key value in user, Oh, actually, I don't have user. I'm going to do alien. So alien dot items. Items must be another method inside of dictionary. So that's what our for loop is going to look like. And I believe what this is doing, unlike our other for loops where we only had one value, it's actually creating two values. So we have our key, obviously, for our key, then it does a comma, and it has value. So it's going to hold our key objects here in key, and it's going to hold values, the value associated with the keys in value. That way we'll be able to see them. In obviously specifies, know that we're going inside of this dictionary. And then the dot item method, I assume is just one that's going to basically get the items for us from our dictionary. All right, so it explains here, which I wanted to just do a little bit better, the method items, which returns a list of key value pairs. So I guess this method returns a list of key value pairs, and a list is just easier for the loop to actually go through. So that's what the method items does. So now that we have that, we're just going to print out our values here. So we're going to go ahead and print. They did it kind of weird. They're doing like a new line with key. And then we're just throwing our key value in there. So that's going to make it look a little cleaner. All right, and then the other one, similar. Which, I mean, this print statement is a little fancier than it probably has to be, but I'm going to keep it the same way that they do it. All right, so all this loop is going to do is basically it's going to loop through our dictionary, and it's going to print out basically the key and then the value for us on new lines. So I'll print it right now. All right, I always end up doing this. I put the wrong slash. There we go, and then you'll see like the ends actually, the ends became purple. That's what I wanted. Um, let's go ahead and build this again. There we go, much better. So this prints out our key, which is color, our value, which is green, and then the second key, which is points, and the value that is 5. So that is how we loop through our dictionary. And it looks like there's another method inside of, there's another method with dictionaries, which is keys. And it looks like you can loop through just the keys if you don't want the keys and the values. So if I change this items to keys, and then I guess I can just probably remove the value because we're not going to have two values. We're just going to have the one key value. So for key in alien keys, print key, I'll build that, and then that prints color and points. So that is the way you can basically retrieve a list of just the keys, or you can do items and it'll retrieve a list of key values and key and values. All right, so this might be interesting. This is talking about looping through a dictionary's keys in a particular order. So there looks like there is a function called sorted that you can apply to a dictionary before you search through it. And let me just find where they explain exactly what that does. So we wrap the sorted function around the dictionary keys method. This tells Python to list all keys in a dictionary and sort that list before looping through it. The output shows everyone who took the poll with the names displayed in order. So I believe this is just an alphabetical order. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just add a few more things into here. All right, so now we'll go ahead and try to use this for We can just, I'm going to use name because that's what they used, but it could be whatever you want. And then they have instead of putting alien, we're going to use that method called sorted, and we're going to wrap our actual key. We'll wrap our keys inside that sorted method, and then we can print out each one. So as it loops through our dictionary here, it'll take this name value that we just created and it'll hold that key. So what we should get, because we have it in sorted, it should print out color, and then it should print out gender, and then points. So we got an error here. It says for name in sorted. It looks like I missed something. Oh, my for loop does not have the the colon. Trace back. All right. Most recent call. Line 3. Attribute dict object has no attribute key. Oh, I believe I used the wrong method. It should have been keys, not key. All right, and there we go. Then we get color, gender, points, like I thought we should have got. So yeah, the little typos like that can kind of mess you up. So try to read through the errors the best you can, so you can kind of figure them out. You're definitely gonna run into those, and you know, they shouldn't be too hard at this point to kind of figure out. We're doing very simple examples, but those little things can still mess you up and make it very frustrating to even do simple examples like this. So just try to read through them as best you can, find out what line they're on, and then just go through and really look at your code and make sure that you're not missing any letters or any kind of punctuation or something they should have. So that's how we loop through dictionaries in a particular order. All right, it looks like there is another method that we can use with our dictionaries. Instead of keys, we can do values. And I believe values is just going to give us the opposite. So instead of getting color, gender, and points, we should end up getting, I would assume it's going to put the number first. So we should end up getting 5, green, and male. Oh, got another trace back, so something, didn't like something we did. Let's try to find it out. What did I do? Unless maybe I just can't use that values inside of a sort. All right, so let's just take that sort out. Maybe it doesn't actually sort values. And I can just try this. Okay, so that worked fine. And then it prints green, 5, and male. So for some reason, it didn't like trying to sort out the values. It will sort the keys just fine. Let me actually try that again. And, oops, I think I need to do sorted. Sorted. There we go. Maybe if I change this point, it could just be because that was a number, a numeric value, and not, yeah. So now it works just fine. So for sorted, I guess you cannot give the sorted function a numeric value. It looks like it only sorts alphabetically with strings. So just be aware of that. I'm sure there is some type of sort method that will allow you to use numbers, but for this one, doesn't look like that is the case. All right, what's up, guys? So when I was editing this video, I just noticed something that wasn't quite accurate. So when I originally did this, I had color as green, points as 5, and then I think I had another value here. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I remember I thought for some reason that sorted would not work with numeric values, and the reason sorted didn't work is I don't know if you guys read the error I did actually while editing the video, but it said it couldn't compare an integer with a string. So it wasn't necessarily that there was it doesn't like numbers, it just doesn't like different data values. So it can compare strings to strings, and it can sort numbers. So like this one, I put everything as numbers, and if you build it, you'll see that it builds this in numeric order. So um, it goes 2, 4, 5. So it will do numeric values. It just won't do string values and numeric values. So you have to if you're going to use sort, you have to make sure that all your values are either basically the same data type. So all strings or characters or all numbers. Don't mix and match, or sorted is going to give you an error. So I just wanted to add that in here. All right. So the next thing is talking about is nesting, and it looks like it's showing how to create some dictionaries and then put them in a list. Basically, hold that list. And then it kind of goes through creating an empty list and then filling that empty list with a bunch of dictionaries. So, all right, let's try to do some of these then. So for this, I'm going to have to create a few new aliens here. All right, so I have my 3 dictionaries, which are going to be 3 different aliens, and then we're just going to put them into a list called aliens. And from what it looks like, I can just make, whoops. So the list is going to be square brackets, not curly brackets. And I think I can just put in my aliens just like that. Bam. So that is my list of aliens. And then it shows basically how to print them all out. So we're going to go ahead and do for alien in aliens. And we're just going to go ahead and print alien. So if we run that, it'll print out all of our dictionaries. So we have a list here, and if we print out all the items in our list, it'll give us each one of those. So now getting on to this second example it has here, we're gonna go ahead and create this same list, but we're gonna create an empty list. We're not gonna put anything in it. And then we're going to create a for loop here that is gonna add aliens to it. So we can go ahead and do for alien underscore number in range, and range is one of those functions that we went over in a previous video, but basically it is just going to give you it's going to give you obviously the range of numbers that you asked for. And then we're just going to have for each one of those, we're going to create a new alien variable here, and this new alien variable is going to be equal to we'll just go up here and grab this because I don't feel like typing right now. We'll throw that right there. And then we're going to amend this new guy into our list so that it'll add each loop it goes through. It's going to add in our new alien. So we have aliens, and then we can just dot amend, and inside of there put new alien. All right, this is going to give us a list of a lot of aliens. So this is our empty list up here. This is our for loop going through all of our going through basically a range of 1 through 30, and it's going to loop through 30 times, and for each loop it's going to create a new alien, and it's going to add it to our list. And then we can go ahead and print some of those. It does a for loop. They have an example here of showing a for loop just to show the first 5. So we can do for alien in aliens, and then it does this, which is basically going to show us just the first 5. Um, yeah, so then we can go ahead and do print alien. Oops. Oh, I forgot my colon there. All right, there we go. And that prints our first 5 aliens. If I took this out, um, I believe it should just print all 30. Yeah, okay, so there we go. That's going to print all 30. Those are a list of all of our aliens. They all have the same exact things because this is exactly what we're adding, so we didn't change anything. Um, so I can just go back to 5. That's a lot. All right, so there we go. That is creating dictionaries, adding dictionaries to a list. Looks like you can also have lists in dictionaries. So here in this case, we have dictionaries inside of a list. You can also put a list inside of a dictionary. And I would assume you just need to create a key and then have that key associated with a list. So for instance, we have this giant list here. I could also just create like alien number 3, right? And that's where we're at. And then I could have this alien could be, I'm just going to put key because I can't really think of what we want to put there. But then this is going to go to our aliens list. So that is our list. And then I could print that whole list by simply doing alien 3 key. And then you can see down here that it prints a whole bunch of stuff over here. And that's it. So that is our, that is basically dictionaries inside of a list, and then a dictionary with a list inside a dictionary. So we have our list inside our dictionary, and we also have our dictionaries inside a list. You can do both. Yeah, I'm not gonna go really through many of the examples that it has on that. I think you guys kind of understand what you can do with those. Oh God, okay, so apparently you can put a dictionary inside a dictionary. So I guess I could probably change this and just put alien 1 or alien 0, and it would print that alien. So let's go ahead and do like alien 0. And if I run this, you'll see that the last one is going to print our alien 0, which is this guy right here. So you can even have a dictionary inside of a dictionary, which is a little crazy. But that is the end of this. That's the end of chapter 6. Chapter 7 looks like it's going to be user input and while loops. So that could be fun. That video will be coming up within a week or two. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot about dictionaries like I did. I didn't really have any understanding of what a dictionary was in Python until right now. So if you guys are enjoying this kind of like walkthrough of this book, let me know. Leave me a comment. Please like the video if you liked it. Share it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Helps me out, gives me motivation to keep doing this. I'm really striving to put one video out each week. But I want these videos to be educational, which is why I got this book. Not only because I wanted to learn this, but it gave me a little bit more of a structure as far as trying to create videos to help you guys learn things. I am leaving out a massive amount of information from this book, though. So if you guys really want to understand this better, and you have $25 to spend, this is a good book. If you want to get it off Amazon, I always leave the link to the Amazon in my description. It's yeah, it's not a link that's gonna give me money or anything. Can't think of the word for that right now, but it's just a regular link to Amazon. the names there too if you want to just look it up. That's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.